Hey everybody, Dave Neal here, stand-up comedian and host of Bachelor Recap, a Guy's Review. Happy Monday morning, everybody. I know I look like the guy from the paper towels without the jawline. That's the look I'm going for. It's winter here in Los Angeles. It's a breezy 56 degrees. Really cold here. We're going to start off this week with some light Bachelor news. We've got some heavier topics to talk about later on in the week, which we know the next episode of The Bachelor is going to get into some, like I said, more heavy topics. We'll dive into all of that as soon as it's aired and kind of pick apart what's going on in the show. But for now, a lot of people are podcasting. A lot of people are making, speculations about Matt James and his character. Is he a good guy? Is he not? Of course, we know the lead of The Bachelor, Matt James, is associated with Tyler Cameron, Hannah Brown. Pretty well-liked people. You know, they don't come without their flaws. Hannah Brown, of course, last year was nearly canceled for saying the N-word on Instagram when she was drunk. Can you believe that? That feels like 50 years ago. This happened last year. So she apologized, did the whole tour, Dancing with the Stars, this and that. Matt James, good friend of theirs. He's on the show. No prior history about him. People are speculating, that he used to be Republican and now he's independent. I mean, a whole bunch of nonsense out there. But this one was interesting to me. Matt James' ex-roommate spills tea, as the kids say, and shares some drama about what Matt was like as a roommate. So I wanted to dive into this. She spoke on a podcast. So let's talk a little bit about this. And by all means, like I always tell you guys, let's not pretend like we're any better than he is. Can you imagine if one of your ex-roommates or ex-husbands or whatever went on a podcast and talked about how you were at your worst? I mean, no good roommate scenario ends well. It always ends with somebody throwing a TV at somebody else. You know what I mean? So anyway, let's dive right into this story here. And leave a comment below and share with me your worst roommate moment, whether it was you who was the bad roommate or whether you had a bad roommate. We've all got one. I had a roommate, I'll tell you this. I had a roommate who threw a shrimp party once. He got a good deal on shrimp, the crustacean. That's not like slang for something else. Just shrimp, little shrimps. Those little alien-like cockroaches that swim in, bottom feed. I don't do shellfish, folks. I'm from Rhode Island. I keep it with the fried clams. Anyhow, that's good for the fantasy suite, too. Fry your clams, folks. So, Matt James. Okay, so my roommate story. Sorry. My roommate decided to throw a shrimp party because he got 50 pounds of shrimp. So he put shrimp in little bowls and left them all over the house. And then the next day forgot or didn't really forget, but didn't have the mental wherewithal to clean it all up, and he left these shrimp, which turned into just like slowly warming up all across. It was like having central sound for smell. I had central smell. No matter where you went, it smelled like shrimp. Let's get into Matt James. So second paragraph, the popular pop culture podcast Stay at Home Pop, hosted by Molly Ryan and Ariel Haller Silverstone, that's a long name, invited Matt's former roommate to appear on the January 20th episode to talk about her time living with The Bachelor. Only referring to her as Sophia, the woman revealed that Matt was a less than stellar roommate. Let her tell it. He was a nightmare to live with, she says. Matt's the worst, Sophia said on the podcast. I didn't like him. We actually had a falling out towards the end. According to Sophia, her year as Matt's roommate was marked by a lack of boundaries and disrespect. She told the podcast host that Matt had essentially turned their tiny New York City apartment into the unofficial Bachelor crash pad, inviting best friend Tyler Cameron and other Bachelor alum to stay at their home for days on end whenever they were in town. All right, so let me get this straight. Again, I'm saying this very lightly. Of course, there's we never want a problem with real roommate issues. It can be a nightmare. But you're telling me that Matt James and Tyler Cameron were coming over to your apartment and you had a problem with it, with this stud muffin over here? Look at this photo. Look how many abs. I don't know what's better, the abs or the shoulders. I mean, this guy works out. They do squats. They do leg day. You can tell a lot by a guy in his calf muscles. You know what I'm saying? Matching shorts. So you had a problem with can you imagine if you woke up, ladies, leave a comment, let me know. Can you imagine if you woke up, went to get coffee in the morning, you got your little bathrobe on, you look over and there's Matt James just sprawled out on a sectional? Really? I understand. New York City's small. When you have a roommate, when you have someone who needs to come over, you got to run it by your friends. I get all that. I just think it's funny because so many people would die to, accidentally walk into the bathroom while, Tyler Cameron is, finishing up in the shower. Leave a comment. Let me know. What do you guys think? So anyway, yeah, they would just use it as their crash pad. And that's what happens in New York. It's very hard to get a couch to crash on in New York City. I lived on 140th and Broadway. That was uptown, Harlem. I lived in Brooklyn. I stayed in so many different dodgy areas. I once had a bedroom that was actually the dining room. We just sectioned it off with the biggest IKEA bookshelf we could get. We went to IKEA, bought the biggest bookshelf we could get, and then stuffed the frame of it with pillows so you couldn't hear people 3 inches away. When you live in New York, I mean, these rents are just insane. You got to do what you got to do. People are renting out their bathtubs to people. You know what I mean? So anyway, Sophia wasn't having it. She said he's the worst. And, I don't know. Maybe I'd love to hear his rebuttal to this. But, I mean, we've all been that guy. We've all been, sort of a lousy roommate. We've all had lousy roommates. It's just a product of what you get. 2 different types of people living together. When it's different genders, are you kidding me? Look, here's what Sophie doesn't understand. And ladies in the comment section, I'm prepared to fight you guys on this. Women are the more disgusting gender when it comes to the bathroom. Y'all do crazy things in there. You have little just sample sizes of shampoo. I used to know this girl. She had just a clear bottle with like duct tape on it, and it said Tuesday. What was that? We don't know what's going on with you guys. Men, we got an Axe body spray, shampoo, body wash, toe scrub. It does everything. And ladies, you got buffing tools, pluck it, peel it, scrape it, bop it, sock it, skip it. You got the whole thing. Your bathrooms are nightmares. So you might have had a problem with Tyler Cameron like crashing on the couch, but God, who knows what kind of Wookiee hair was pulled out of your drains there, Miss Sophia. Come on now. You live in a glass house. You're throwing stones. She also claimed that the Bachelor invited his fellow Wake Forest University alum to the apartment and even made multiple copies of their house keys for the guests without their approval. This meant that random men came in and out of the apartment at will without the actual tenants being present. Okay, look, that's no good. As a, I can only imagine, I can't speak for the ladies in the audience, but as a lady, it must be kind of a pain to, sort of have to deal with, more than a pain. I'll give you that. It's more than a pain. That's a situation that's ripe for, just not feeling like you're welcome in your own home. And I understand you're paying a lot of rent. You don't want random people. You got to be careful who you give keys to. Totally. I point for Sophia on that one. When Sophia approached Matt to discuss the house rules, sharing that she wasn't comfortable with the way things were, he allegedly had a chilling response. I told him that I was a single woman and felt uncomfortable. He looked at me dead in the face and said, "I don't care that you feel uncomfortable." And then she started crying. I can kind of understand him looking at her dead in the face because he just looks like that kind of guy. But I don't know. We always remember situations differently. I don't know. I don't know how it went. We're only hearing her side of the story, of course. But, there's a difference between who you are as a roommate and who you are in a relationship. Now, don't get me wrong. It's telling if you can't get along with a member of the opposite sex in an apartment building. How are you going to then get along with them when you're dating them? You know what I mean? So that's telling in a way, but we all move up. We all realize we were slobs, whatever. I've been a bad roommate to people I didn't like, and I've been a great roommate to people that were good friends of mine. It's like, are you showing your roommates the best side of you? He's probably coming home drunk. He's with the guys. They're all out going to Pound Town. Who knows what's happening over there? Matt's currently on a press tour, blah, 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 he's not going to respond to this. Someone in the comment, I'll read the first comment. I'm not going to get into the thick of things because I'm sure you guys will leave a comment, but someone said, "Why would you conveniently take the woman's word without any concrete evidence? I'm sure you wouldn't like it if people automatically believed any salacious behavior in your past." Anyway, so here's the deal. It's one-sided. It's super gossipy. I don't love making videos where we're just spewing out gossip. But like I said, it's Monday morning. We're going to just start here, and then we'll work through the week. By the way, if anyone wants to check out my live streams, I'm doing West Coast live streams immediately after airing of the show. So Monday night, 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I do a West Coast live stream. We have a phone number that you can call, leave a voicemail. It's a fun conversation. And then I'm approaching my 10,000 subscriber 10-hour live stream. If you guys have been following along, when I hit 10,000 subscribers, I'm doing a 10-hour live stream, which, 2 fingers crossed, I think will be this Thursday. I think Thursday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. I will be doing that live stream, which will involve a lot of me microwaving pizza throughout the day. That's what it's going to be. Talk about a bad roommate. So anyhow, here's where Matt lives now. Let's jump over here. Inside Matt James and Tyler Cameron's NYC Bachelor apartment. There's something about being a bro. I can tell you this. I was a bro. Look, come on. I'm wearing flannel. I look like the brownie, paper towel guy with no jawline. I get it. But there's a thing about being a bro. When you have multiple bros together, it actually exponentially increases the douchebaggery that happens. So I can imagine Matt James being a decent roommate, but when the boys are in town, it's just not good. And especially if Sophia is like an introvert or like a sort of a quieter personality, she's in her room trying to use her Tibetan bowl sound bath. She's got the mask on, cucumbers, face peel. She's got the things in the little, ladies, I'm on to you. I know what you're doing in there. You're trying to have a zen out night, maybe binge some reruns of Gossip Girl. Who knows? Maybe the OC. I don't know what you're into. And then all of a sudden he comes home and next thing you know, they're doing, some weird game of beer pong and everyone's naked. Again, Tyler Cameron naked. We'll see what happens. Anyway, they live in a new bachelor pad, and it's at 1 Manhattan Square. Like I said, I lived up in Harlem. 2-bedroom in Harlem cost you $2,500 or whatever. They live in a 2-bedroom, 2-bath corner unit facing downtown towards Financial District, and it's about $8,000 a month. That makes about sense, $8,000 a month. And apparently they don't get a discount. Who knows? Maybe they do. I mean, you get, they got big profiles there, but look at these views. Is this not crazy? This is his new place. I don't know where Sophia lives now, but this is insane. And of course, if you've never been in one of these New York apartments, usually these window blinds open up automatically. Okay, now I feel bad about my life. So they have a private amenities. Anyway, you don't need to see all this. There he is playing basketball. Maybe he just needed a place with a basketball hoop. What do you guys think? Leave a comment. Let me know what your worst roommate story is and see if it beats my shrimp gate guy. I've had so many other stories. I had a roommate who boiled a egg in the microwave until it exploded and left it there for a week. I mean, nightmare stuff, folks. Nightmare stuff. But again, also, my buddy Ben will tell you, one of my last roommates, good friend of mine, just watched him get married. I was in his bridal party. You know you're a good roommate if you stay in the bridal party. He used to have to hide brownies from me because I would eat all of his brownies. So maybe I'm the bad guy. You know what I mean? I got a sugar addiction. Don't leave your brownies out. What do you think you're doing? I come home late at night. I'm going through all of a sudden. I open up the microwave and there's a couple brownies that you're hiding. Those brownies are mine now. I've confiscated them. Let me know what you guys think. And like I said, big week ahead of us. Thank you to all the new subscribers for sticking with me, leaving comments, letting me know where you're from. And of course, I let people know this because some people had reached out to me. If you want to donate, I got the Venmo and all that PayPal up there. So thanks for the people that just sent me donations. You guys are really fantastic. You know what I mean? We're having a good time here. And let's see what happens this week of The Bachelor. And I'll do the live stream Monday night. Tuesday morning is when I release my Bachelor recap, a guy's review. And then later on Tuesday, I think I'll have some more content because there's, like I said, some controversial stuff going on the show, things we need to break down and talk about, but that is for another day. So anyhow, folks, I'll see you later. Bye, everybody.